Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we'll be continuing our Demon Souls playthrough as I read some stories I found on Reddit. But before we get into it, all of the stories will be linked in the description below, along with the videos I used, the music used, and along with all of the playlists containing all of these types of videos. And I will also have a link to my TikTok. That being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright, so this first story is called Very Observed. It was actually posted a day ago. And so it's not a text message story, but it's a dating story. So it starts with, well, here's a funny story from a dating app. A 21 male, nerdy Asian, matched with a woman, 22 female, also Asian, on CMB. I don't know what CMB is, like like what I think of is like CBS, like a channel or something like that. So CMB, I never heard of it. I'm guessing it's a dating app. Well, okay, yes, it's a dating app, but he mentioned that in the beginning. But and then he or she said she was looking for a long-term relationship and her type was Asian guys. About 2 weeks in, she suddenly insisted that we were just friends, and after that, she started messaging me on Facebook every day, mostly trauma dumping about family abuse. Alright. Family abuse is like a very serious thing, but you just don't trauma dump like when you've known someone for 2 weeks. Like, they're not your fucking therapist. But anyway. And then acting like I didn't understand her somehow. Oh, God. During that time, she started dating a white guy. So, pretty much, it looks like her type changes. I guess it's like a. I'm not gonna make that joke. Never mind. I gave her some advice and then said, "Why are you pushing me toward other people? What if I chose you? Isn't that what a friend is supposed to do?" So it seems like it honestly seems like so far that she just dated that other guy just to make this guy jealous. That's the impression I'm getting. I could be completely wrong, but like that's like the impression I'm getting from it. But let's continue. Then came more trauma dumping. She talked about being insecure about having a small chest and not fit in beauty standards, saying her exes choose other girls because of that. Ironically, she also rejected the guy for not being her type. So, pretty much, like, like I get that, like people have insecurities and stuff, and like I think her rejecting the guy for not being her type, that's pretty like normal, I would say. Like, like, yeah, you can be insecure about something, but that doesn't mean that you can't reject someone because they don't match like your standards. I don't see anything wrong with that. It felt like she was seeking validation, which is why she chose to date a white guy. Sometimes she's into women as well. Okay. And then 2 weeks later, she said she was into Asian guys again and suggested we go on a date. And I told her, I don't have a job yet. I'm still in university. Are you okay with that? And asked if her parents would be okay with her dating someone in my situation. She replied with, we were just talking, not dating. Then today she messaged me, let's just be friends. I don't like a guy who doesn't love himself just because he doesn't have a job. She also said that she disliked men who felt slightly because she had a job and guy didn't, and that having the job shouldn't matter if we're in love. I clarified that I was only asking if she was okay with my situation and wasn't judging her at all. Then she said, well, I want someone with money. I'm already poor. And I ended with, whatever. Wow. It seemed like she was like going like it was like switching personalities kind of. It's like one personality is like, let's just be friends, and that's all they know how to say. And then the other personality is like, I'm into Asian guys. That's all I want is Asian guys. And then the other, actually four personalities. And then the other one is like, oh, I like dating women. I also like dating white guys. Blah 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 blah. Not that there's anything wrong with having, like I've like dated like girls that like didn't match like my exact type. But anyway, but it's beside the point. But like that was the other personality, and then the fourth one is just uh uh I want to date someone that has a job and that makes money because I'm already poor. Like, it's so like absurd. Like it is very absurd, which is the name of this story. It's so dumb. And then a comment I actually was reading, yeah, wow, man, schizo date, friendship date. She may just be really fucked in the head and can't help it, or she's purposely playing with you. Trauma dumping meant she felt you to be safe, but yeah, I think I would run. I'm cool to be friends, I'm cool to date, but her back and forth weirdness is just a bad, bad sign. And I agree with you, Andre, and that's who posted that comment. But I think that's a good way to like that. Like, there's nothing else. That's a perfect way to describe this entire situation. Anyway, let's go on to the next story. All right, so this next story is another dating story, which I know. I mean, I'm addicted to these dating stories. Like I'm like addicted to fucking like crystal meth or some shit. It's like I get all excited when I read these. Whenever it's like getting excited when a new episode of The Boys comes out. But this one is 3 days old, and it's called My First Experience in Dating. It was terrible. And it has dating in quotation marks, by the way. So it starts off saying, I'm a freshman university student, female, and I never thought about dating before in high school, despite the fact that I had so many opportunities to do so. However, my parents were very strict about me and only focusing on academics, which is why I probably didn't think about it that much. So during my second semester, I started developing a crush for a guy friend of mine, but I didn't do much about it because I didn't want to ruin our friendship, and I found him attractive. He was easy to get along with due to his calm. It's late, guys, so I'm gonna be butchering words all disposition, but he was also incredibly hard to read. Some months later, one day he showed me around his dorm room, just the two of us. His roommate was gone. He started to be very cuddly with me on his bed, even placing a hand between my thighs. I was so confused and overwhelmed, but I just let him. That is weird. I mean, like, I get it, like, he was trying to make a move, but I mean, yeah, I guess, I don't know if that's normal. I don't know, like, I don't do things like that. Like, for me, it's like putting like your arm like around like a girl's shoulder. I think is more respectable than like. But like once again, like that's when like we both know the intention is that we're going on a date. Like these were friends, but they just had a crush on each other. But anyway, it continues and says the next day he apologized and confessed that he liked me. We started to date afterward, but it felt well. And by the way, date is in quotation marks again. But I felt so empty because of what he talked about was either him in the gym or being physically intimate with me. Mostly him being horny for me. Okay, there's nothing wrong with bragging about your stuff in the gym. Like, obviously, like, you shouldn't make it your personality that you go to the gym. But when you're constantly saying to your girlfriend or significant other that you're just horny for them 24/7, it just means that you view them as like just a sex toy, like a fucking sex doll, not an actual person. But anyway, we've cuddled a few times and such, but emotionally, I was getting nothing emotional from him, even though I was being very emotional and vulnerable around him and asked him different questions about himself. Then, about 3 weeks later, during text, I decided to confront him about it, and he told me that he just wants something casual. Damn. Damn. That fucking. I know that hurts. Wow. Man. You see, like, that's what I'm talking. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like, the guy just wanted to have someone to have sex with. Like, he wasn't interested in her as a person. He just thought she was attractive. I felt so empty and sad because I took everything so seriously. I genuinely wanted to know him more as a person. He didn't even tell me that he wanted something casual from the start. I asked if he just wanted sex from me, and he just avoided the topic and decided to end it right there and then. He didn't care about me, not really. I still feel so stupid, naive, and used now. even though we were only starting to date for 3 weeks. But I think that was an important lesson for me, and I'm glad I confronted him before things would become even more shitty. I just wish I didn't ignore the red flags from the start. We all wish that when something like that happens, like you kind of like forget everything that like every red flag because you like them, like you ignore that shit. But I mean, I tell you, man, even the small stuff adds up. Like I feel very very bad for her that she had to go through that. That is heartbreaking. But no comments to read either. This is shocked that no one responded to this, but anyway, that was a sad story. Let's get to the next one. Alright, so as I'm fighting Maiden Estrella, this is a very boring fight that I do. Very boring tactic. I just use my bow and arrow and just shoot it from a distance. So we're actually going to look at a r/slash nice guy story. This one's a review of a YMCA. So I love reading text messages, but I also love reading shitty reviews to stuff, or like shitty emails, or anything shitty, like to read like comments and stuff. So these stories always crack me up. So let's start it. I've been a member at the West End. Oh, by the way, context. It looks like this was 3 years ago, and it has a 1 star. So it starts off with, I've been a member at the West End YMCA for a few months. I wasn't going to say anything about what I thought were minor issues, but lately it's become a bit more disconcerting. I'm from a small town, and when I go into a business or establishment anywhere, I usually say hi to everyone. I usually say bye when I leave. While I know that some people are busy, when I enter and exit the gym at the West End YMCA, some people are just snobs and won't say anything to me ever, or grudgingly do so, even when they're not busy. But what does that have to do with the establishment? Like, that is so like that. Like, it's not like, is he talking about the workers, or is he just talking about the people just in the place? Like, no, yeah, no shit. Like, people are gonna like, okay, most of the time people will say hi back, but if they don't fucking know you, there's a chance that they're not gonna say anything back. They're gonna be like, who the fuck is this? Like, who the fuck is this guy? But it's just hilarious. Like, this has occurred with a woman. As usual with these r/slash nice guy stories, it always results to being about a woman, and that's what ruins everything for this guy. His world goes crashing and burning. It's the end of the world for him when a woman doesn't like him. But anyway, this has occurred with a woman that works there on more than one occasion. I don't know her name, and I don't care to know. I have said hi to her repeatedly on different occasions before, precariously. She said hi to me once. Imagine like just walking in, this guy's going, hi, 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 hello, little baby, hi, 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 buddy, like shit like that. And he goes, you think I was pulling teeth the way it pained her to do so. Maybe she thought you were fucking weird, you fucking weirdo. Anyway, I don't understand if I say hi to people that are available and are not busy. What's the problem? I don't want her. I'm acting like a GD human being. What does GD mean? Am I stupid? Am I taking stupid pills? What does GD mean? Anyway. Jeez. It's so easy for me and so tough for her to say hi, since it's such a privilege for her to act human once in a while. Okay, I'm not saying that he's right, but there are cases when, like, yeah, people, like, think, like, they're, like, other people are, like, beneath them, and they're just kind of, like, they act robotic, and they just don't want to, like, talk to you, but that's with, like, people that, like, that you kind of know, like, it's not, like, a random-ass person, like, this motherfucker is doing this with a stranger. But anyway, ignore that point. But I don't really feel like saying hi to her anymore. Then don't do it. You didn't have to in the first place. I don't need it, and I just ignore her. It's not my job to be polite to people. Yeah, you're right. It's not your job. So stop fucking doing it. It's weird. It's hers. Fucking people. Anyway, maybe she should think about that in her overall behavior. So I'm confused on like this woman that he's talking about is a worker at the YMCA, or he's just an asshole that thinks that everyone needs to be polite to him. Anyway, another time I asked another woman, oh god, it seems like all of these are just women, about whether I could get a TV in another room to play the Bicycle Path video that they used to play in this. Okay, so this is a worker that they're talking about. They used to play in the spin classroom. During my time on the stationary bike, since they never gave me an answer, but always told me that I have to check with their supervisor, and I keep asking once. Whenever I went to the gym, I finally get an answer one day that it was not possible. The problem was the woman interrupted me as if I had asked the same question too many times. If I never get an answer to my question, then how am I supposed to know what it is? Please don't interrupt me when I talk. Man, this guy just seems like a snooty asshole. Anyway, I don't like the attitude of the most of the staff. Okay, so he's talking about the staff. Okay, so like again, they're not obligated to to say hi to you. But like, yeah, I guess like workers should be polite, but it's like when you're doing it like constantly, and once again, we don't know the context. He could be fucking batshit weird with it. But anyway, is it because I'm chunky? They think I don't have the right to be treated like a human being. The reason why I'm chunky is because I take meds that I need to live, and it's put 50 pounds on me. But I don't have a choice. I've done nothing to anyone there, yet I pay $66 a month for people to sometimes be polite to me, but mostly not. I've kind of had it with the staff there. The fact that this is the only place I go to where the staff has decided that the day whether they will be snobs or not says something about the gym and the people that run it. I'm very disappointed with the service that I receive there. Now I know why I don't like some snobs in Toronto. I'd rather be in my hometown. Since then, I've talked to someone in charge. I thought the situation would get better. I'm saying hello to the staff when I went there. So it's not even like the gym equipment is shit, or like he's pissed off because people aren't polite enough to him. That is pathetic. Anyway, I was saying hello to the staff when I went there. Some, including the snob woman, said hello to me once or twice. The problem is that they've always seemed to be too busy to have time to say hello to me. If I see someone talking to someone else or on the computer, then I'm not going to bother them or get them to say hi to me. I don't need it. They should really stop what they're doing and say hello again. It's their GD job. And then today I said hello to the people at the entrance, and they grudgingly said hello to me. The same woman looked at me like I raped her or something. What conclusion is that? He just said that. Wow. Oh my god. Like, all I'm picturing is like him trying to like force her to say hello back to him, and she just has that look of horror. Like, I shouldn't be making jokes about that, but she looked like I raped her. That is a crazy thing to say. Like, saying hello and rape are two different things. Princess should learn the difference. This guy must be like a fucking Discord mod or Reddit mod or some shit. But anyway, then at the Starbucks, oh my god, now he's wearing the Starbucks across the street. The Starbucks into it. What the fuck does Starbucks do? Then, like, Starbucks is getting like shots fired. Like they're getting like the fucking crossfires at them. Then at Starbucks across the street, the other woman that interrupted me before more curiously said hello today was there with her boyfriend and kissed him about 2 feet in front of me. Yeah, I'm alone. You don't have to shove it in your GD relationship in my face. Oh my god, dude, this guy is pathetic. I'm gonna cancel my membership there in early September. I want to be around people that can act like human beings and not some kind of trash. Some people there are nice, but too many aren't. I don't have money to waste on their BS gym, and if I can give this gym 0 stars, I would. They suck royally. It's time for some of the soulless staff to get off their asses and say GD. Hello. What the fuck does JD mean? Like, what the fuck? Hello to me. I'm friendly with people everywhere else I go. At the West End YMCA, they're the ones with the problem, not me. Geez, learn to act civilized already. I've been in better shape for more years of my life than anyone there. Last December, I was doing 8.5 hours of exercise a week. I was 179 pounds. I don't have GD fin to prove to anyone. Oh, GD. Goddamn. Why is he... Okay, it stands for goddamn. That's what it was. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Oh man, my noggin. But that was it for that one. Check out some of the comments. Someone just said, 29 minutes ago, I'll be shocked if this guy doesn't eventually escalate to hurting someone. Sounds like a real fucking charmer. I wouldn't say hello either. This is him crafting several paragraphs to describe his awkward social approach and his unrealistic expectations regarding how other people will respond. This can get really ugly at some point. No shit. This is fan fiction. I think someone plays pretend to be the type of guy we mock here. Well, I know it's definitely not their job to say hello. But he pays $60 a month for them to sometimes be nice to him. This got me to snort. Congrats, take my upvote. Oh my god, man, I love these stories, man. They're so goofy. But anyway, that's it for this one. Let's move on to a different one. So this next story seems kind of long. I'm going to try to read all of it. Hopefully I can fit it in the recording. So it's called Who Are You in the story? My brother Mike Phil the Brick. So it starts off like I don't know like what I'm getting into with a lot of these like I'm like with like a lot of these stories I never know the background of it. I don't ever read ahead. So this is me reading it like straight up. So it goes, starts off with Friday, April 17th, 2026. So this is recent, and this was actually posted 18 hours ago. And starts off with Phil's outdoor parking, 324 French Street, downtown Pittsburgh, PA, 3:45 p.m. Entering the parking lot because the hotel garage is full. See a parking attendant named Mike, directing the driver into the proper parking position. I followed the suit and parked my Mercedes 3 open spaces away. The only 3 spaces available in the back alley lot were 3 visible surveillance cameras. Placing my car in the park, Mike approaches like a traffic cop. He waves me in to park 2 spaces over next to his previous client, nice and snug. Having been placed in the car in park for the first time in over 4 hours, I was reluctant to move as directed, yet instantly recognized his type. This alley lot was Mike's fiefdom. When what Mike says goes. Therefore, to avoid an unpleasant altercation, I moved into position. As I maneuver as directed to park 2 feet from the driver's side door of the mom who just parked as she balances one leg on the ground while wondering if I'm about to hit her. Mike waves the universal hand signal for reversing and realigning and sliding into a proper place. No one better than Mike. Disregarding Mike's commands, I pull over to the small curb and realign and reverse back, nice and slug. Mike has mixed feelings about my approach, plainly irritated that I failed to obey his orders, yet begrudgingly pleased with the end result. I am, after all, a magnificent parker. What is this story so far? It's just about parking? But anyway, how much? $35. How long? Till 10 a.m. tomorrow. I hand Mike the cash as he requests Mom's car keys. Let alone, I grab our bags and shuffle off before he can ask for ours. On the following morning, Lalone's team wins the 9 a.m. game at 10:15. I arrived at the lot to cough up another 35. I noticed from the distance that my driver's side window is open. Oh shit. Perched in his window booth like a duck hunter, Mike gazes silently as I approach my vehicle. I see the smashed driver's side window. On the asphalt below, a pile of shattered glass, and a brick next to the bag of Gatorades I had left in my back seat the day before. Mike saunters down the lot to my car. This is the risk I ran when I decided to park with you, I ask. Yes, Mike replies. This is a colossal pain in the ass. It sure is, says Mike. How many times has this happened? Maybe twice in the past 3 years. I inspected the vehicle for signs of theft and none that I can see. As I inspect the damage, Mike grabs his broom and the dustpan stands and stares in silence. Why is this guy just standing here, I wonder? I spend another few minutes taking photos, removing bits of the glass from the driver's seat. Are you done taking pictures? Asks Mike. Yep. Mike sweeps up the glass under around my car. Oh, thanks, I say as I grab his broom to brush off the glass out of the corners of my window pane. Mike is miffed. He wants his broom back immediately, but he lingers nearby as I use it to my satisfaction. A bystander passes by. They busted your window? Crime is so bad around here. Sorry about that. Hope you have a better day. Mike continues to lurk. How can I contact your boss? Phil? He's up at the 9th Street location. Where is that? Up that alley, take a left. I do so. Where is Phil? He's parking a car. I need to talk to Phil. They threw a brick in my window last night. On French Street? Yeah. Dude, it's so bad down there. Sorry about that. The crime is crazy around here lately. They just want everything for free. It's especially bad with the NFL draft coming to town. I was walking around the other day and they were everywhere. I turned to a cop and told him, I don't feel safe around here. Yeah, I need a refund. I'm just a teacher, man. Phil's son can help you. Here he comes. Phil's son steps out of a freshly parked flatbed pickup, makes eye contact, and approaches skeptically. Is Phil here, I ask? No. Someone threw a brick through my window on the French Street last night. How can I contact Phil? I think this guy that wrote this kind of messed up here. Anyway, call the number on the ticket. Mike gave me no ticket. Call this number. Phil's son's hands me a ticket. I leave Phil a voicemail and I went back to French Street mumbling profanities until crossing the street. Cut off by a speed walking female smoking a cigarette while berating her boyfriend on the phone. I don't give a shit about what you think you know. This is stupid as shit that we are even having this conversation. You're a son of a bitch. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time talking to you. B, you don't give the orders, I do. I just got to work. Leave me alone. I'm done with you. A bouncer greets her at her place of employment. Mikey's car bent. Another day in paradise, he asks. Another damn day, she says. She squats against a brick wall and lights another cigarette. Suddenly, I'm not feeling so aggrieved by my situation back at French Street. Phil returns my call. Mike is still sitting nearby. Hi, sorry I missed your call, but I listened to your voicemail. They threw a brick through your window? Yes. I'm so sorry about that. Crime is so bad down there. I've lived here for decades. I'm 72. I've never seen it so bad. I've never been on either political side, but it's simply crazy what's going on now these days. It's the kins that squeeze the money and the life out of us. They want us all to hate each other. They whip us into mobs and profit off of our loss. Well, I don't know about all of that. It's just crazy the way things have been going. Sorry, I was scratching my ear. My ear's very itchy. Okay. It's the kins. Can I have my $35 back? Of course. Just tell Mike to return you $35. Just tell him I said so. Okay, so I should tell Mike to reimburse me? Yes. Okay, I'll text you when I'm reimbursed. Hey, Mike. Phil said you can return my $35. First, you gotta pay me $35 for today. For today? Were you here at 10 o'clock? Because I was here. Are you telling me that my car was vandalized under your watch and you want me to pay you more money? Yes. Are you kidding, Mike? No, you weren't here at 10 o'clock. I was here. You've been parked here for an hour and a half today without paying. You owe $35. Sorry, my ear is absolutely itchy today. I'm sorry about that, guys. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Anyway. Did you hear me tell your boss that Phil instructed you to pay me? Yes. Do you do what your boss tells you to do? I don't understand. Phil told me to tell you to pay me back. You heard our conversation. When the boss tells you to do something, you do it. No. Mike looks down to the left and walks away. I call Phil. Mike refuses to pay me. I'm so sorry about that. Just go up to 9th Street and my son will pay you. I'll talk to Mike. 2 basketball players pull up and ask me a question while I'm talking to Phil. Mike must have been non-responsive to their questions. Hey, can we park here? Now, unless you want a brick thrown for your window. Then for Mike to demand a further payment. Hold up. Alexa, stop. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, Mike stands there and listens and blinks. Phil, I have waited all morning to issue this verdict. Mike is a fucking idiot. I'll talk to him. Good luck with that, Phil. Readdressing the players, I say, get the hell out of here, guys. Don't park here. I hang up with Phil. The alleyway walls are now alive with the sound of my botancer's mockery of Mike echoing through the streets as I walk back to 9th Street. I have a theory, like, let's take a pause here. I have a theory that Mike is the one that threw the brick. I have a feeling that the story is complete fish paste, even though it says nonfiction. But something tells me that Mike is the one that threw the brick. Anyway. Oh, sorry about that. At 9th Street, Phil's son looks disappointed to see me again. Phil told me Mike to pay me $35. Mike won't do it. Oh, Jesus. Phil said he would talk to Mike and straighten him out. That won't work. No shit. The assistant to Phil's son slides me $35 for a slot from his wooden roof. Sorry about that. That's so crazy. How often does this thing kind of happen? Oh, all the time. Oh, the slow walk back to French Street, $35 in hand. I wonder if Mike's truly the one to blame. Mike has a simple job to do in the market, dominated by landlords and criminals. Packed as many cars as possible onto the unprotected slab of asphalt half the size of a football field, and demand payment without expectations. Mike's focus through exceeding narrowly ensures his survival. He survives in this business because he's a man of principle. I was late and I owed $35. No exceptions. Mike may not have followed Phil's orders, but Mike did his job. Mike's not responsible for reimbursing clients. Mike is responsible for demanding and securing payment. What good is contact or customer service when Phil's son, the heir to Phil's parking fortune, docks his pay for coming up short at the end of the day? That's why Mike doesn't take orders. Mike is the one who gives orders. What Mike says goes. Mike believes in the rule of law, the precise, bright-line letter of the law. Mike was merely doing his duty amidst the daily pressure of the landlords and thieves. At least he gets his pay dock. Land on the landlord's bad side, potentially to lose his job. With no other source of income, they turn theft as an alternative, like the brick throwing would-be car thieves, who shattered glass all over his Esport, which he is tasked with keeping clean to facultate cramming of cars and collecting payment with no exceptions. Thank goodness I left the lot without relinquishing my keys to Mike the day before. It would have cost me another $35. And the one comment here says, shake my head. That was an interesting story. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tired. So, I was just reading it, and to be honest, at one point it kind of lost me. But yeah, let's just get to the next story, I say. So, let's do it. Alright, so this next story is from a year ago, and I love reading like judging. By the way, that's not a fart. That's my chair. My chair is old. It's breaking. So if you hear the fucking noise creaking like that, like that, yeah, that is just my chair. That is not me fucking ripping ass. But anyway, this one. But I love reading stories with stupid sounding titles, and I love stupid stories in general, but in like a funny way, like stupid funny stories. So this one is called "The Curse of the Chairs," which by I thought that was a very goofy name, so we'll just get straight into it. The Curse of the Chairs. The Curse of the Chairs. Hold on, I'm checking. Oh my lord. Hold on, guys. I just kind of messed up here. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to. I'm editing this while I'm recording this, so I forgot to add the the story label from the last story that I did just now. It went just like the fucking. I'm fucking tired, man. But the title card thing, like when I put the word up when it's like story 4 or story 3, I forgot to edit it better. So now it's all fixed, and enough of that wumbo jumbo. Let's get back to this goofy story. Anyway, so it says, "Hi, I'm going to start this off by saying I'm not a Redditor." It's a good thing. Not a Redditor at all. But I needed to put this story somewhere because I feel as though I'm losing my mind. Any and all names in the story will be made up. Here we go. I hope he goes so wacky with the names, name one of his friends Glorbus or some stupid shit. But anyway. One day, probably about 2 months ago, I walked into my English class and sat down. I was instantly disturbed by the fact that my chair, which is usually the one I'm able to lean back in, was pressing up against my back. It was the same type of chair, but the back seemed to have been bent forward a bit. Then I turned to my friend sitting next to me and said, My chair feels weird." He says, "Nothing's wrong with your chair." I say, "Sit in it." I get up from my chair, then he sits in and says, sits in my chair and says, "Ugh, what's wrong with your chair?" By then, the class has started to watch and listen as we debate. "What's wrong with my chair?" I turn to my teacher. We'll call her Mrs. Akira. He's choosing these goofy names. I respect that. And say, "There's something wrong with my chair." Miss Acorn says, "Nothing's wrong with your chair." And I stand up and say, "Look at it!" Miss Acorn then says, "Oh, that's strange. It's like it's leaning forward." I then switch out my chair for a normal one and move on with my day. The following week, I return to my class, having completely forgotten the last week's chair debacle. I sit down once again to find that I'm sitting in the weird chair. I freaked out once again, and I have to switch it for another. I don't know if I should take it seriously. The guy, I can't take it seriously. This guy's freaking out over a chair. Which, I mean, I get it, you have to be comfortable, but it's he freaks out over it. It's so goofy. No hate towards the guy, though. It's funny, but this happens a few times over the course of about a month. I won't detail every time, but it happens at least 2 to 3 other times. After one of the times, we even put a piece of painter's tape on the chairs so that we can tell the difference. Every time it happens, I get called crazy, and I tell someone to sit in it, and they go, "What the hell?" There was one time, though, where it was normal, and I was just paranoid. I like to add the fact that no one else is having this issue, it's just me. And after we added the piece of tape, I no longer sit in the weird chair, and I also forgot about the curse that's been laid upon me. For a month, I'm in peace. Till today. Dun dun dun. It's so fucking dumb. Today, I went into English, I sat down, and I was instantly reminded of the weird chair, because I was sitting in it. I freaked out once again. I said, "Someone must have taken the tape off," and swap it with another chair, except this time, when I switched the chair, the one I switched it to with, it was weird too. I got called crazy by all my classmates yet again. One of my friends sits in both of the weird chairs, and she confirms they're both in fact weird. Another friend says, "It's okay, buddy. I'll take the weird chair. Have mine." It's like an ultimate sacrifice. He then sits down and says, "Ew, no, I can't sit in this chair." A classmate sitting nearby asks, "Can I try it?" Which leads to about 3 classmates sitting there and saying, "That's so weird." This is... And one class asks if they can have it for back support. While they take the chair, I notice that behind them is an extra chair with table on it. There are currently at least 3 weird chairs in my classroom, yet every time I sit down, I'm the only one with one. As you can see, this is bothering my soul deeply, and I'm tired of the weird chairs. If there are any chair gods out there, I beg of you, please take away this curse. Oh man, I love stupid stories like that. It's so funny. Oh my god. It's so goofy. I'm sorry, I'm tired, guys. Oh my god. That was funny. But, anyway, I think that is going to be the last story for tonight, so enjoy the rest of this silent gameplay until my outro. Catch you guys in a bit. Alright everyone, that's all the stories for tonight. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And that that being said, I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Good night, everyone.